I'm having breakfast with Mary Lee. Yo-do-do-do-dee. I'm having breakfast with Mary Lee.
Hello, my little podcast peeps. Thanks for gathering around the old Breakfast with Barry Lee table. A special show for you this week with a lot of love. Special Love Incorporated. Special Love supports children with cancer and their families, and the executive director, Elena Jeannotte, is my special guest. Right now, your brainbuster. 1/4 of adults admit that they have forgotten how to do this. Forgotten how to do what? Is it A, parallel park, B, change a tire, or C, work with fractions? Your answer at the end of the show. Right now, time to share a little love, some special love. Special Love Incorporated has been around since 1983, serving children with cancer and their families. We're going to talk about that rich history and some of their upcoming events, but we want to introduce you to the executive director, Elena Jeannotte. Elena became executive director a little over a year ago. And before we refresh people's memories about Special Love, a little bit about you.
Hi, Barry. Well, thanks for having me on today. I have been in the D.C. area for almost 20 years. I started working in cancer at Georgetown University doing fundraising for their cancer center. And I came to this work for a very personal reason. I lost both of my parents when they were in their 50s to cancer. And so I just really wanted to give back and sort of take some power out of something that I felt very powerless around. And so that's how I came to this work and have spent 20 years working in different cancer nonprofits and then found my way to Special Love, which has been just an absolute joy.
And you know, even for people that live here, they're familiar with Camp Fantastic, but maybe the term Special Love, even though it's been around since 1983, but it's got a beautiful story of how it got started.
It certainly does, yes. It was started by Tom and Sheila Baker, a local family here in Winchester, who lost their daughter Julie to lymphoma in 1978. That was back in the day where most children with cancer needed to be treated at the NIH because it was so rare, and in the 70s, cancer in general was just very tough, and there weren't a lot of treatments available. So Julie passed away, and Tom and Sheila really wanted to do something with, I think their grief and their pain that they had. So Tom had heard about a summer camp for a different type of illness in, I think, upstate New York, and he said, I'm going to do this. And he reached out to the NIH and asked if they would provide the medical care, and a partnership was born between the NIH, Special Love, and the 4-H Center in Front Royal. And here we are today, 43 years later, getting ready to welcome kids this summer to camp, and that same partnership is still going strong.
So when we say that you serve kids with cancer and their families, let's talk about some of the services that are provided. And this is open to kids throughout the Mid-Atlantic. It's not just here in the Valley.
That's right. I think when we started with Camp Fantastic, they soon saw that it wasn't just the children with cancer who had needs. It was also their siblings that were really struggling because the parents obviously have to turn a lot of their attention to the child who's ill. And sometimes the siblings are, a little forgotten. And that's something that we wanted to deal with as an organization. So we started a sibling camp called Brass Camp, stands for Brothers and Sisters. And that has been held annually since, I want to say, the early 90s or late 80s at Camp Maria in Leonardtown, Maryland. So we bring around 100 siblings there. Wow. Another really special part of Brass Camp is we have bereaved siblings. So these are kids who've lost their sibling to cancer. And we have a special group. They meet daily that's called B-Chat. And so it gives them an opportunity to meet with other kids who know what it's like to have lost their sibling to cancer. So that's a really special group. And then we said, well, we probably should help the parents too, because they have needs and they're going through something that is obviously the worst thing a parent can ever imagine. So we started parents programs. We have a very robust parents weekend. We bring parents from all over the Mid-Atlantic to usually a hotel in Tyson's Corner, and we do wellness and massages and, build birdhouses houses, and then we have a dinner dance for them so that they can reconnect as a couple, or singles come and hang out with other singles, and it's really a special event. And then that wasn't enough. We didn't want to stop there. So we do a lot of family events. All of our events are free. So we do family events. We took 70 families skiing to Canaan Valley for 3 nights. We take families to the 4-H Center for like a spooky Halloween type event in October. And we have a lot of day events going on throughout the year for families. And then one thing that we also provide, which is really important, is financial assistance to families. So if a family is struggling under the weight of a cancer diagnosis and all the financial toxicities that brings, we can help families in this area. So whether you've been to a Special Love event before or not, they're still eligible to apply for one of our grants. So that's another program that we're very proud of.
And of course, Camp Fantastic, held there at the Front Royal 4-H Center, is still going strong.
Yes, it is still going strong. Our numbers, I'm glad to say, are finally bouncing back from COVID. COVID was obviously a pretty tough time for our organization because we had to pivot a lot. The children obviously being very susceptible to COVID. So we shut camp down for a couple of years and did virtual camp. And now this year we're looking at hopefully getting back up to 100 campers, which is our maximum. So we still partner with the NIH. They send about 50 medical professionals out for the week to make sure our kids are totally cared for in every way, shape, or form. So parents know they can trust us with their child. And I think that's one of the things for Special Love that is most important to us, is you have to establish a great deal of trust with the families in order for them to let your precious child go away for a week, never mind when they have a serious life-threatening illness. So yeah, it's going strong. Kids ride horses, they do archery, canoeing, fishing. I mean, it's like a good old-fashioned summer camp, I guess is the best way to put it.
So Elena, obviously this takes dollars, and how do you finance these programs?
Mm-hmm. Well, a very generous community, I guess, is one way to say it, Barry. We're very lucky that we have everything from local schools to individuals who read about us, who want to support our mission. But we also have to go out there and fundraise, which is a tough job to do, especially in this climate. So we have events. We have a local golf tournament coming up at Shenandoah Valley Golf Club on June 5th. That's a Friday, and so that's open to the community. Anyone can come and support, and all the funds raised will help us send kids to camp this summer and support all of our programs at Special Love.
How do folks that are interested in the golf tournament, how do they sign up?
So they can just go to our website, which is www.speciallove.org and click on our golf tournament page, and they can register right there. And it's sure to be a great event. We have a raffle, we have a lot of auction items, so it's really a great way to come and be in the community. One of our families will come and talk about their experience with Special Love, so people can really see firsthand who they're supporting. And that's one of the things that I think is so special about this organization, is we can take you to a place where you can see what your money is supporting. And that's pretty rare, I feel like, in this day and age. And so we're very proud of that.
Now, for those that are listening right now that would like to find out more about your services or take advantage of the services, how do they reach you?
So I think the best way is to go on our website, www.speciallove.org, and hit the Contact Us button. My colleague Brooke handles our info line, and we can easily get in touch with a family within 24 hours if they need support. So we are very proactive in getting people engaged in our services, and I can promise that when you come to a Special Love event, you are going to have the most welcoming experience you've ever had in your life. And we hear this from families all the time, that they feel like we are their family because we know them by name and we care so much about their family. So we would love to bring more families into that fold. So if you or someone you know has a child with cancer in their family in our region, anywhere from West Virginia, Maryland, DC, please come to our events and become part of the Special Love family.
And they don't have to be currently going through treatments.
That's right. That's right. If the child is a cancer survivor or you are a bereaved family, if you've lost a child to cancer, your family and your living children would all be welcome to join in our programs up until age 18.
Wow, incredible, incredible. For families to go through such a traumatic experience and feeling like you're so isolated and alone, Special Love makes sure you don't feel that at all.
You know, Barry, that's such a good point. When I first started here, I came to one of our events that was for little children under 7 because they're not old enough to come to camp. So we have a special event that's just for them and their siblings. And I was still trying to learn about the organizations. And one of the moms had a best friend there that she had met through Special Love. You know, she didn't know her from home. She hadn't met her at the hospital. The families had met at one of our events. And she said, I think this is the highest compliment a family could give. She said, a lot of groups give our children things, but Special Love gives us a community.
Wow, well put. Elena Jeannotte, Executive Director, thank you for joining us on the podcast, and thanks for what you, your staff, and all your volunteers do for our kids with cancer and their families.
Thank you so much for having me, Barry.
All righty, pull out the old podcast planner and let's see what's coming up for the week. First of all, a reminder to nonprofits in Winchester, Frederick, Clark, and Warren counties. The window is still open to apply for grants from the Community Foundation Northern Shenandoah Valley. Nonprofits have until May 8th at 5 p.m. to apply for a grant, and among those grants is Chain of Checks. Check it out, cfnsv.org. Monday the 5th is Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. It's National Orange Juice Day and Bird Day. I said the bird. The bird is a word. Tuesday the 5th, Cinco de Mayo. It's also Teacher Appreciation Day and National Foster Care Day. And a reminder to foster families that Froggy's Closet is a great resource. And as far as donating items, check out what they need at their website, frog-kids.org. Wednesday the 6th, this is my kind of day, no diet day. And it's also National Nurses Day. Thank you, nurses, for all you do. My favorite quote about nurses, the first person you see after saying, "Watch this." The other part of that quote is, "We can't fix stupid, but we can sedate it." Thursday the 7th, speaking of nurses, it's School Nurse Day. Just think of all the stomach aches they've had to diagnose in their lifetime. It's also National Day of Prayer, and it's Bike to School Day. Do kids really bike to school anymore? I can remember when I was a kid, there were bike racks all over the school property, from elementary right on up through high school. Plus, whenever two guys got into an argument, it was meet me at the bike racks after school. And half the school would show up to see what was going to happen. Friday the 8th is No Socks Day. I can remember in 10th grade, it was the fad not to wear socks, and you tuck the socks into your back pocket. The 8th is also National Military Spouse Appreciation Day. Now, coming up on the weekend of the 9th and 10th, it's the Blandy Garden Fair, the Mother's Day Garden Fair. It's Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 4, $12 a car online, $20 at the gate. If you go to blandy.virginia.edu, there will be a tab about the Mother's Day Garden Fair. Saturday the 9th is Stay Up All Night Day, and that runs in conjunction with National Sleepover Day. It's also Lost Sock Memorial Day. Where do all those socks go? And on Sunday the 10th, it's Mother's Day. And how appropriate, it's also National Clean Your Room Day. There's a nice gift for Mom. And it's National Shrimp Day. All right, let's see how you did on the Brain Buster. 1/4 of adults admit that they've forgotten how to do this. Forgotten how to do what? Is it A, parallel park, B, change a tire, or C, work with fractions? And the answer is C, work with fractions. As always, appreciate your lending an ear to the Breakfast with Barry Lee podcast. Folks can join us wherever they listen to their favorite podcast from, or just go to the website breakfastwithbarrylee.com. And with Mother's Day arriving on Sunday the 10th, I leave you with this quote. You never realize how much you owe Mom until you're an adult, and she forecloses on your house. Have a blessed week.